I'm on a mission to transform my two-car garage into the ultimate workshop for DIY projects and my small business of converting camper vans. And in this series, I'll be building everything from tool storage to workbenches. And in today's video, we're going to be building a partition right across here to partition off this side of the workshop from what will be a utility room. And my dad, 50 years worth of carpentry, says it's going to be a piece of piss. This is where the partition's going, where this red line is, if anyone can see it. If you're colourblind, I apologise.
If you're colourblind like me.
And the main reason for building this partition is because the washing machine is here, and as you can hear it, I don't really want that going on when I'm inside my workshop making YouTube videos. Hence the partition. So the first job, using a laser level, was to get a level and straight line marked on the wall. So now we have a mark on the wall. Once we were happy with the line on both walls, we had to mark the ceiling joists using a chalk line. Ready?
Yeah.
Who's paying you? So we now have a line that goes all the way along the rafters and back down this wall. Now I always thought when building a partition you kind of built it in a one piece and then just literally mount it up, but Dad said the best way to do it is to screw in the top first, and then we'll do the bottoms, and then we'll do the uprights in between. So we're going to start off with the top. For the framework of the partition, we used 3x2s.
Two ways of doing a partition, right?
Yeah.
There's this way, where we're going to be putting up the head and the base.
Yeah.
Right? And we're going to cut our studs in between it, right?
Yeah.
Now that to me gives it more support for the top.
Yeah.
Right?
Because then you can.
The other way, right? People will make a frame, all this frame up down there, and lift it in like that.
Yeah.
But the thing is with that, as you're putting your frame up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's sitting over there.
Yeah.
Going up, yeah?
Yeah.
Or if you come in this way, it's hitting that. You've made it that. It is long cornering on this corner there, yeah, to go up that. It's now hitting this.
Yeah.
And then when it goes there, where it should be, we got a gap.
Yeah.
Or we've lifted the ceiling too high. I don't like that. We want these supported. So this is why I do this. I do top, bottom, two walls, and then cut the individuals, because this might not be level anyway, or this might not be level.
Yeah.
And doing a frame like that, you're making a square basically.
Yeah.
And then you'll be starting to pack the top of this. Does that make sense to everyone?
Makes sense to me. Right. Well, I mean, it's easy so far.
Yeah. And it's even worse when you've got a 4-inch stud.
Yeah.
Because the long corner is even more as it's coming up.
So what he's saying is this is the easier way to do it, essentially.
I think so. But some people do it the other way. And that's not wrong either.
Both ways are right. Don't attack us in the comments. So with my dad's words of wisdom and a few taps of a hammer, we were ready to start planning where the doorway was going to go.
Right. That doorway doesn't have to go where you want it. If you want it back here, that's fine.
Here's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
The load bearing,
Yeah.
that would be 4
Yeah.
or 5.
Right.
Right? But it's not load bearing. We're not holding a wall up or a ceiling up in your house, are we?
No.
The load bearing one would be like you had an upstairs as well. So that's what it would look like.
Okay. So you come in and walk through. Door would open probably that way. Yeah.
Yeah, either.
Doesn't really matter, does
that
it?
way or that way.
Now that the door placement was decided, we proceeded to screw down the 3x2s to the floor. We did actually use this to check to see if there's anything underneath before we drilled. We didn't want to drill through any like pipes or electrical cables or anything, so.
So on this one, we have electrical or plumbing finder this side, and this one pushes it to a stud finder, which is this side.
Ah, clever. So it's like a
a multi-stud finder. I mean, normally when I want to find a stud, I normally just hold up a mirror, but...
Once the holes were drilled, we screwed the 3x2s down with these masonry thunderbolts.
This is something that Dad just taught me, which I didn't know, is that these are always marked with a red on 16,
For Imperial.
32, 48, and it's because studs are normally 16 inches apart.
Right.
Wow.
On metric sheets are 40s.
Right, so yeah, and then yeah, so there,
There. And they're in red as well.
yeah, 40 red. So
Because we got
a
Imperial sheets.
tape measure actually does more than what you think it does. It doesn't just measure. There's like little cheat guides, so you can just do it quickly if you need to, provided you're not colourblind. That is.
When installing the bottom 3x2s, we decided not to cut a walkway for the door until after the partition was fully framed, to ensure the structure stayed nice and square.
So it's this one plus 300.
So that's our rod, what they call a rod,
Yeah.
and it's 300 mil past the end of that. Cool. So we've used that as a rod.
Then it was on to installing the ends of the structure that will be screwed directly into the walls using the same thunderbolts we used on the floor. And then the rest of the framework came together pretty quickly. We then framed the door opening and fixed some noggins between the studs.
Your level's shrunk a bit. I mean, I know it's cold in here, but it's not that cold.
And once the framework was solid and square, we could now cut away the 3x2 in the doorway.
So you can see now the importance of just keeping that in one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it keeps everything together rather than you try to pull this around and.
Yeah. Rather than trying to line up that side with that side with an open doorway.
That's right. This is how I do mine. Some people will say, "Whoa, why?" Because you're not wasting timber. This bit will be used. Who needs a multi-saw, eh?
A multi-tool, you mean?
Yeah, multi-tool.
So we're now going to, what's this called, the door frame?
Door lining.
So we're now going to fit the door lining on the partition. I didn't realise this, but you can actually buy packs. I've never fitted a door before. I've never done a door frame. I've never done a partition in a property. So I didn't know that you could literally just buy packs. So it all comes like pretty much cut to size, doesn't it? Depending on what size door you're planning on putting in. This should hopefully, if we've done a good enough job on the partition, this should go in fairly easily. So I was just saying about how good it is that they actually do these packs, but we've just noticed that both of the long pieces for either side of the door frame,
Drying split.
they've got drying splits in them. So, but we're going to just glue it back together. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a doorway for a garage. It's not going to be like the main part of the house. And it saves us having to take it back to B&Q and get a new one.
Which without opening the pack.
Yeah, we could have the same problem, or it could be worse.
So even though the door lining wasn't perfect, we moved forward with fitting it. It was fairly straightforward once we'd straightened it all up. This little piece of bracing timber is there to keep the door lining nice and square whilst we fit it in place.
This, so most people probably just looks like a piece of wood with a notch cut out of it, but it's actually a 3-inch hinge jig that my dad has made.
Also got a 4-inch one, but I've left that one on.
He's also got a 4-inch one, but that's in his trousers. 6 inches from the top, right? And then that's pretty much where we're going to be putting the first hinge, and that one's 9 inches from the bottom.
Because hinges are 6
school.
inches down to the top of the leaf and 9 inches up to the bottom of the leaf.
And then the middle hinge that we're going to put in the middle will be the centre. And what? So we just literally put this on, mark it, and then put the router in here.
Yeah, the router's going to sit on top of there like that. That ruler is going to follow that shape there.
Right.
Cool.
Perfect.
Just one hand there. Okay, keep that down, right? There, look. You want to put a hammer on it. Then go up.
Imagine if that was a thing where we'd open it, it would hit these beams. Imagine if that was lower.
Yeah, imagine that.
Oh, close.
No, that's right.
3 on the tree, 2 on the door. Okay, so you're probably wondering what 3 on the tree, 2 on the door means. Well, every hinge has a set of knuckles, and there's always one side that has one more knuckle than the other. In this case, a 3-inch hinge has 3 knuckles on one side and 2 on the other, and the side with the more knuckles always goes on the frame side, hence the saying 3 on the tree, 2 on the door.
Ta-da! We have a partition and a door. Obviously a door is no good if you can still get through the partition. So the next job is I'm gonna plasterboard this side of the wall, right? It's also known as gibrock, it's also known as drywall. 2 sheets of plasterboard on this side, and then I'm gonna actually insulate this partition. And you're right, it probably doesn't need insulating for like the fact that it's not gonna keep any sort of cool air out or anything like that. It's not for the thermal side of it. It's more just to dampen the noise because I have 2 children and this washing machine and this tumble dryer are pretty much going in this house 24/7. So I think I'm going to start on the garage side, get the plasterboard up, then insulate it, and then get this side done. This is the insulation. It's a PIR board, also known as Celotex. This stuff is well light. And that's the plasterboard. This stuff is well heavy to be lifted on your own. Oh, fuck! Everything's in my way. That little outburst there, I'm really sorry about, but this is why I want to have a nice, organised garage. I've given Dad a day off today, out of the kindness of my heart. And plus, you know, it wouldn't be good for his back, would it? Lifting these. But 2 hands make light work, more hands, something like that.
I needed to add a couple of supports to the partition to give me a few more locations to screw the plasterboard to.
Right, well this may have been a little bit of overkill. I've got one here, one at the top and one at the bottom. And then I realised that actually that the bits closest to the noggins can actually just get screwed into the noggins, but it's fine. I'm not concerned, these were all offcuts anyway. It's not like I've had to cut a new piece of 3x2 or anything. And to secure this down, I'm going to be using these black screws. Apparently they're the ones to use.
The top sheet of plasterboard needed to be trimmed a little for it to fit along the top of the partition, but that was pretty simple.
That there was exactly what I didn't want to happen. So rather than use this up on the top there, I might actually use it for the side, on that side, and then just cut another bit. I think obviously to get the nice finish you need to cut it on the side of the finish that you want. So I'm gonna do that.
Alright, so I don't recommend anybody lifts an 8x4 sheet of plasterboard on their own, because it could ruin the sheet if you drop it, but more importantly, you could ruin your back lifting it.
Not right now!
Doesn't help.
Yeah, can you just hold that side? Thanks.
But luckily for me, my wife came in
Oh, jeez.
just at the right time.
I've got some clamps. Just put your hand on it. Thank you. Thanks, wife.
That was good timing.
Say
wasn't
hello.
it? Hello.
This is Kate, by the way, for anyone that doesn't know. What? You don't want me to name you, can you? This is my wife, by the way. For anyone that doesn't know her. In order for me to make sure that I'm in line with the studs, I'm just going to use the laser level. Looking at it, this jib rock's actually got crosses on it to tell you where the studs should be, which is a good idea, but obviously it's slightly off, so I can't use that. Okay, so that is that wall done. You probably can't see, but all these screw holes are in line. It will all be filled anyway, so you're not going to see it. I'm not that OCD, but because I did that, I didn't come through once on this side. Literally, each one of those screws went directly through a stud. Rather than doing that side yet, I am going to get some insulation in here just so that it just gives my back a little bit of a break. It's a very good reason why they say don't lift jib rock on your own. And I understand that, clearly, but you know, you just got to do what you got to do. Yeah, like that. Here it is. Gotta admit, it's not the neatest job I've ever done, and I am literally covered in like polystyrene now, but it's in. What I gotta do now is board this side. Now that's done, I'm gonna do the top bit Celotex up there. I've got a few bits of offcut, like this bit that I'm gonna just stick up there. I haven't got enough Celotex to do this side, but I am gonna board one of these sides.
Now that all the boarding and insulation was completed, I got my dad back to help me install the architraves around the door.
Tip of the day. We got a wide gap there,
Yeah.
and the reason for that is because this one tips over,
Yeah.
and the blade comes down at that angle as well. Okay,
Yeah.
like that, as well as 45 and 90 and 22 and blah 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 this
Yeah.
way. So when you got a mark like this for an architrave, I could draw that on there, and I'll be trying to get that in the middle of that, or wherever the blade is. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
I can't see where that line is now, down there.
Yeah.
The actual line is there, like that. Right, and I'm trying to look down the blade, like. Right, this goes for anything that you do. So get the thickest masking tape you can. Right, so now we drop the blade. So what does that tell us?
That's our line. That's our cut
That's our cut line, exactly where our cut line is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can do it with plates that you insert.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then come down through it. But you can only use it for 90-degree cuts and 45s and stuff like that. You can't do it for a compound cut. So now we know where the waste side of our blade is. So our cut of the blade is there.
Yeah.
And we want that there up to this edge here.
Here it is. I now have a finished partition wall. I know I didn't film much of this architrave going up, but you get the idea. My dad wanted me to point this out as well. He said, the miters on these are perfect, right? But they don't look perfect because the architrave was actually primed in a white paint. And obviously when you cut it, the wood behind it's dark, so it makes it look like it's got a big gap, but it hasn't. So, but anyway, once it's painted, it'll be absolutely fine. I still need to fill all these screw holes and get all that hidden. I've got a big Love Sundays neon sign that I need to put up somewhere in this garage as well. And I'm thinking it's going to go on that wall. I did actually put it up there and just see what it looked like with all the lights off, and I thought it looked pretty cool. But obviously it's not mounted, as you can see in the video, because it's at an angle and it's not actually mounted to the wall. This workbench here, which isn't really a workbench, I think it used to be like a kitchen or something that was probably in this house from like years ago. That used to be on that wall over there. I've moved it to there just so that I've got somewhere to work from. I am going to be using this as a sort of temporary workbench for this wall here. As time goes on, I'll just replace it and build another one. But for now, it's cupboard space. I'm not going to give that up. The next job to do would be to board all this out, insulate behind it just so that it does stay fairly warm in here. In the winter, I have noticed that since I've built that partition wall, now where the tumble dryer is and the washing machine is, it's a lot warmer on that side because that wall is insulated. Whereas this side feels a lot colder when you walk through. For that wall, I'm probably going to go ply on top so then I can actually start screwing up my tools and everything. And then I'll be building a workbench down there as well. And obviously it'll just be jib rock at the bottom, but I'll insulate behind it. But that's for the next video. Hopefully everyone's enjoying this garage conversion. I'm really happy with the progress that we're making. My dad's not going to be in every single video. He's just going to be around when I need him, pretty much. But his knowledge is second to none. So thanks again, Dad, for all your help. And thank you to everybody else for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!